And this is the final sequence. So when I was a kid, I had a ton of trouble sleeping. For years and years, I was never a very good sleeper. Ultimately, the way that my parents got me to sleep was by lighting a candle in my room. And it wasn't the candlelight that actually allowed me to sleep. It was the fact that after I did fall asleep, my parents would come upstairs and, of course, blow out the candle. And so then I would wake up and I'd recognize that the candle was extinguished. And I think that was the symbol that somebody was watching over me, and that's what enabled me to go to sleep. So that's why I'm using the candle in this piece. It's about light. It's about meditation. Stone Cold Yesterday, that's a song. It goes along with these two other pieces because it's the first song that I think I ever listened to that I decided that I liked on my own accord. I was probably 14 or 15. It's a song by the Connells. I don't know if anyone knows it. But all of my influence, or all of my musical influences, came through my brother. And I think that was the first thing I ever listened to where I said, on my own, I like that. And that's a kind of a big moment in a person's life. So this is actually the last piece that I'm going to show you. And this is a piece that I'm working on right now. And if you were in the printmaking studios this weekend, you saw me working on it, which was really great. I loved working in the space amongst the students. I had a lot of fun. And it's a piece that is not fleshed out at all yet. And I'm kind of ending on this piece and very intentionally showing you this piece because it's unfinished. One of the things that happened last spring in the interview process, I think it was in the first interview, one of the search committee members from MICA said to me, well, I really think that, with your work, you would be a really good influence on the students here. And, which is a really nice thing to say, but then another committee member said, yeah, but additionally, I think that your work is really going to be affected by the students at MICA. And when I went home, I thought a lot about that. And you rarely ever hear that kind of exchange in an interview. Most interviews are one way. They're not really thinking about how you're going to be affected. And so that meant a lot to me. And, there's a lot of talk about the community here at MICA. And ultimately, it's kind of that attitude and that idea that was so important to me in my decision to come here. I'm excited to be as engaged in conversations about work with as many of you as possible, and that's why I'm here, and that's kind of an open invitation to exchange and critical dialogue going both ways. So here are the color variations of that central piece. And this is actually a cropping of a Bridget Riley painting that's carved out of rubylith and then printed so that it looks deteriorated. This is also about a friend of mine, and this sequence, the portrait on the left, or that was on the left, is the friend. And we had visited the new museum together in the Bowery, and we had this argument for like an hour about the architecture of that building, or the design of that building, and the architect, and whether it worked or not, and how it fit into that neighborhood. And there's a lot of people talking about that, or at least they were talking about that. We argued for like an hour, and I think we agreed with one another, but we were still arguing because there was something else that wasn't being said between us about our relationship. There was something that wasn't being said that, created that discussion. And that was really interesting to me. And so I took this postcard that she gave me of the Empire State Building, and I kind of carefully cut and pasted the building to be similar to the design of the new museum. I don't know if you've seen it yet. I'm sure most of you have. But it's like stacked boxes. And then once again, I've just kind of printed it so that it looks deteriorated and aged. And I'm still trying to figure it out. So maybe some of you can help me with a studio visit. All right, so let me close by just reading this quote by Vic Munoz. It's 35 degrees, but it feels like 20. This discrepancy exemplifies an artist's job to find and express a binding agent between the tangible world and how humans experience it. I think that's a really good way of saying what I feel about what I'm doing as an artist, as I think about past and present and fact and fiction and perception and reality. So that's it. That's what I have for you today, and I think I'm pretty good with time. Amazingly. Should there be questions, or is that good? Certainly, if there are questions, I'll be happy to make my best attempt to answer, but also please seek me out. I'm in the Dolphin Building, and I would love to meet as many of you as possible. So, yes. Are many of the images made from multiple plates? Just about all of the images, particularly the ones in the beginning, are made from multiple plates. That's correct, yeah. Things are dispersing. Any other questions? All right.